you pulled out a map right now, could you point out Arkansas? Me neither. That's all changing because I am here for the next 2 weeks on a dog sit, and I can't be more excited to explore this little corner of the US that I know basically nothing about. The only thing I do know about this corner of Arkansas, I'm in the northwest corner, is the town of Bentonville is just a few, well, 30 minutes away from where I am, and it is the worldwide headquarters for Walmart. One of the struggles about changing locations so often, or as often as I do, is because I'm only in one spot for 1, maybe 2 weeks if I'm lucky at a time. While I'm there, I want to enjoy the location. I don't want to spend all my time in one beautiful spot planning for the next one, because then I never enjoy where I'm at. I never get the chance to just be. And that's kind of what happened with Arkansas. I knew nothing coming here, so I did a lot of research last night. So last night, I decided to take action. I decided that I was gonna book myself an adventure every single day. Fortunately, I have a reliable vehicle that's gonna get me around because I'm out in the sticks again. I don't know how this happens, but I'm okay with it. So yesterday when I got here, I was picked up by the host, taken to their home. They spent about an hour just kind of blitzing through all the information that I needed, doing a tour, introducing me to the pets, and then they took off. I needed dinner and I was ready to have a culinary experience. I found a really yummy barbecue place in town and was not disappointed. I ended up getting the Pumbaa sandwich, which had jalapeno cheddar sausage, pulled pork, and brisket. Of course, I got some collard greens because I'm still technically kind of in the South and I really wanted some green vegetables, and they looked really good. And then of course I treated myself with some banana pie. I guess that's pretty local. I spent a lot of time in Georgia in front of a screen, whether it was watching movies, catching up on shows, watching sports, or working, and I don't want to do that again. I don't want to repeat. I needed to kind of decompress after getting back from the UK, and that was perfect, and I was in the best environment to do that in Tennessee. But now that I'm in Arkansas, I'm ready to go on adventures. Ago, I went to the Four Corners National Monument, which is a part of the United States where Utah, Colorado, Arizona, and New Mexico come together in 90-degree angles. It was a fun experience. It was during the time when I was really into solo trips and taking long weekends to go explore more of part of the world that I was living in, and I had decided that I wanted to go see the famous Monuments Valley. I wanted to go see the spot where they filmed part of Forrest Gump. I wanted to go watch that at sunrise, and while I was there I figured, hey, while I'm here, might as well go check out this Four Corners Monument. And it was a monument. Not a whole lot going on at the time, but I've always been driven to borders because it's kind of fun to imagine being in more than one place at once, and also seeing how close, I don't know, how closely we are related to our neighbors, whether they're different states or different countries. And apparently there is a spot that's about 30 minutes outside of where I've been staying where 3 states come together: Oklahoma, Missouri, and Arkansas. So I've just been driving through Missouri actually to get here, and I'm staring at the Welcome to Oklahoma sign. I'm not counting this as a visit to Oklahoma because I'm not actually going to be experiencing any culture while I'm here. That'll be for another trip. There's a gas station right here. I don't know what state it's technically in. I am in the middle of nowhere. Good morning. Yesterday was a super rainy day. Like, it was downpouring for hours and hours and hours, and my activity adventure yesterday was supposed to be going on this 4-mile loop nature trail, but after doing some research, a good part of it is dirt roads, and I didn't want to get super muddy and I wasn't super confident with driving in like a downpour, I opted to have a movie day instead. The rain has not stopped. It has lightened up significantly. So today I'm going to the last farmer's market of the season. Fortunately, it's in like the bottom level of this parking garage, so it's completely covered. I'm gonna go check out what they have, and since I'm still here for another week and a half, I can actually buy some produce if I find something that I love. Okay, so I think that was my most favorite farmer's market I've been to. I don't know what it is. The vibe was great. They were having a chili cook-off, and so I just tasted about 11 shot glasses full of different types of chilies, and I think my favorite was they had this like Vietnamese inspired one that had lime and a little bit of a kick. I could taste some like fish sauce and some lemongrass, and it was so good. I wish I could find the recipe. I might have to look for it. But I ended up standing next to this guy named Tim. I didn't get a picture with him, but apparently he was like the belle of the ball. Like everybody knew him. He was talking to everyone. He looked at me and he's like, oh, I bet they can't lose you in those hot pink pants. And I was like, yeah, it helps like when I fall over in the snow. Anyway, I got some tamales, jalapenos because I want to make something fun with them. And then I got some yummy pastries that just look too good to pass up. So what a great farmer's market. And oh, and I went to this, they have a mobile meat shop, and I got tri-tip for a nice roast later this week. So I'm pretty excited. And now it's off to the mall to do some like necessary shopping. Today's adventure, I'm gonna be doing probably the most American thing I can think of doing. I'm gonna go check out the Walmart Museum. Walmart opened in the 50s and actually went public in 1970. The first one was just south of here in Rogers, Arkansas. Mr. Sam Walton was originally from Oklahoma, I think, and then moved to Arkansas with his wife because she wanted country living. And this is where the Walmart headquarters is located. There's a really cute museum and like a mock like old store of what it used to look like when you first opened it up. So let's go check it out. Believe it or not, the town square was pretty loud, so I couldn't film out there, so I'm actually filming in the parking lot next to the whip. The museum was amazing. It focused mainly on the life of Sam Walton, who is the creator of Walmart, and then the progression of the company from when it started in the 50s all the way up to now. I love how they have their memorabilia kind of grouped together by decades, so you can kind of see the progression of consumerism in America. There were tons of like handwritten letters. You got to see his actual office and learn a little bit more about him, the man, which he was a fascinating guy. Today I'm going to the Native American History Museum. When I first moved to Utah, I would always host parties, and this one particular party, one of my friends was there, and he is, I think, a quarter Native American. Like, he's legit. You know, everybody says that, you know, I'm 1/16 like Cherokee or whatever. No, he is actually like a card-carrying member of a nation. I can't remember which one, and I don't want to offend anyone, but he is from Connecticut. And there was a younger girl in the group that we were chatting with, and she was just so surprised to learn that there were Native Americans in Connecticut. And I remember everybody else that heard this was like, are you being for real, or are you just trying to be like funny and get attention? Regardless, it did kind of put a bug in my ear. So every time I go to places that have Native American museums or cultural centers or places to learn a little bit more about the people who were here first, I do my best to learn about those nations. Being this close to Oklahoma and a couple nations that are just like, I think, 45-minute drive away, it's very appropriate, and I'm really excited to go check out this cute little museum. So overall, that was a fantastic museum. I did think it was going to be a little bit more focused on the Native American history of the area, but it was a broader overview of the Native American history. And I did wish they had a little bit more of a focus on this area, especially the plains. That being said, it was really good, and I wanted to share with you my 4 favorite things. So the first thing is this museum has a really big collection of arrowheads and what archaeologists call projectile points. They're basically arrowheads. A huge collection, not just of all of them, but explaining when they would have been used, why they were carved the way that they are, and they were grouped together so that you could actually see the differences between the types of arrowheads. And I just thought it was really well done. Learned about why there's so many. They have kind of a progression so you can see how the arrowheads were actually created. And I just thought that was just the coolest thing ever. Okay, the second thing that I really enjoyed was they have a pretty significant collection of headdresses. There's a ton of the big billowy ones with all the feathers. There's one that's like, I don't know, like 5 feet long. It's huge. But then they also have another kind that was made with like sheep wool, I think, to signify that the people that, or the men that wore those were like the skilled hunters and the skilled warriors, which I thought was pretty awesome. In the Sioux Nation, specifically like the Dakota, the Nakota, and Lakota people, there is a person that is kind of designated as the winter counter. Now, back in the 1800s, the people of these nations would count the years by the amount of winters that were experienced. And the person that was in charge of recording these would either use like some kind of hide that has been tanned, and they would every year draw something significant that had happened that year to kind of remember it. So it's this really awesome like journaling that these people would do, and there are 2 in this museum that are just absolutely stunning, and they have key on the side. One of them's a book, one of them is just like a big sheet where you can actually learn what each of the pictures represented, and historians can actually look back and see like what years they represented. So for instance, in one of them there was a picture of stars falling from the sky, which anthropologists and historians can pinpoint to a specific meteorite shower that hit, I think, in like 1833. I'm just geeking out. It was just so cool to actually see that and learn something. And the last thing that I wanted to share actually is a really personal moment that I just had. I grew up in Southern California, and our 4th grade school curriculum was centered around learning about Native American history. I remember that very, very distinctly. I remember loving it. I remember a lot of the crafts that we did and a lot of the activities we did in school. While I'm walking through this museum, I passed by a little display that has these cute handmade dolls that little girls would play with. It just triggered a memory that when I was in 4th grade, one of the projects that we did was we made Kachina dolls. Kachina dolls represent the Kachina spirit, which could be an ancestor, a messenger, an animal, or a deity to the Hopi Nation. And it's usually about 1 foot tall with the head of an animal. And I remember thinking, oh my gosh, that would be really cool if they had Kachina dolls, but these weren't them. But it just triggered this beautiful memory. So then I walked about 5 more feet, and the next display case had a bunch of Kachina dolls in them. And it was so beautiful to see those and to have that memory kind of jump to the forefront of my mind. So I loved coming to this museum. If you have a museum close to you that focuses on Native American history, go check it out. Anyway, I'm gonna try to figure out what I'm gonna do the rest of the night. It has not stopped raining, but that's okay. So maybe I've earned a night in with a movie. Yeah, we'll see what happens. After almost a week, the sun is out today, so I am outside. Quickly played with the dogs, ran them a little bit after work, and then just took off. First place I went to was this beautiful chapel that I was told about. It's just set in like a really wooded area next to one of the lakes, and it is stunning. It is something like right out of Lord of the Rings, like out of like the elf place, Rivendell, I think. These beautiful, beautiful wooden beams. The ceiling is like super tall, beautiful trees everywhere. Perfect place for like weddings and stuff. I loved it. Found it. I guess there's a lake just behind here that's been dammed up. That's why there's a waterfall in the middle of the city. Arkansas, man. Who knew? Well, I guess, you know, the people that live here knew, but I imagine it's kind of like, you know, everybody who's just now finding out that Idaho and Montana are like actually really cool places to visit. And those of us that have lived there are like, shh, like don't tell people, like that's part of the magic. Rachelle from the future. I totally forgot to set up this part. So I'm usually not a big like art exhibit or art museum person, but I heard that the Crystal Bridges Museum of American Art had some pretty amazing and famous pieces that I just had to check out because it was free and it was like right there. One of the ways I love to explore new places when I travel is through the food. I've done a lot of food tours. I don't do it in every city because, let's face it, it does get quite expensive. They do run around $100. It's not something I like to do all the time. I do like to keep it for more special occasions. So when I knew I was coming to Arkansas, I did a little bit of research because I have no idea what this cuisine is like. Arkansas is in the middle of the US, really close to some of like the US like powerhouse cuisines in Tennessee, Louisiana, and Texas. But I still, you know, had no clue. And when I did some research for what Arkansas is culinarily known for, I was a little discouraged. Things like possum pie and chocolate gravy didn't really sound all that appealing. Fried chicken and spaghetti I could get on board with separately, but there was one thing that I had learned a while ago about Arkansas's cuisine that I was really excited about, and that's where the adventure is taking me today. I subscribe to a few homesteading channels on YouTube, 3 to be exact. There's 3 families that I follow. One is in the Alaskan interior, another is in Ohio, and the other just happens to be in Northwest Arkansas, believe it or not. And from their channel, I learned of a crop here called Arkansas black apples. And I have been dying to get a hold of them ever since I knew I was coming here. I've checked a couple grocery stores, can't find it. I'm assuming it's similar to a crop like the Carolina Gold rice, where, you know, hundreds of years ago, maybe even a couple decades ago, it was a little bit more prolific of a crop, and it kind of slowly died and is slowly making its comeback into more mainstream cuisine. I have spent a lot of time online and on the phone trying to find these apples, and I think I found an orchard that sells them. I called this morning. She said that they have them. It's a 40-minute drive, but I am gonna go get these apples because I've literally wanted to have one of these for so long, and I don't know if I'm gonna be able to just buy one. I hope I don't have to buy a whole bushel because I don't know what I'm gonna do with a bushel of apples in like 4 days, but let's go. That came up super fast. I almost missed it. Just drove through orchards to get here. It was beautiful, and I see tons of produce. I don't know if I'm gonna do a lot of talking while I'm in there, but let me show you what they got. They have them. Successful visit. I got half a peck or a quarter peck of the black apples. I was really tempted because they have a variety called lemonade apples, but I didn't want to buy like $14 worth of apples. Seems a bit excessive. I got a cute little butternut. I got some apple cider because apples, fall, why not? I'm gonna get home as quick as I can so we can cut into these apples and see if they're really delicious and if it was, I mean, it was worth it to come out here. It was a cute store, beautiful drive, but let's get home and cut into those apples. All right, I'm back home and now it is the moment of truth. I have washed these apples, so I have 7 and it cost just under $8, so it's a little over $1 an apple. They look beautiful. They are a color that I've never seen before, and I'm really hoping that they're delicious. Those are really good. It's not pink like I thought it would be, but that's okay. I'm so glad I got them. So I guess the big question is, was it worth it? Yeah, the farm stand was really cute. They're a little rosy in there. I'm excited because I love fresh fruit. I love delicious adventures. Not sure if you could tell from that hat, but I am going to a college football game. I'm so excited. I love going to football games, and actually last night my new friends invited me to a local high school football game where she teaches some of the kids at, and so that was super fun. And I have an hour drive to hopefully some free parking. I'm not 100% sure what the situation is going to be like. I know Arkansas does not have a light rail. I think they have some shuttle buses and some like off-site free parking, so hopefully I'll get there, and should be a good game. Go Hogs! Fun drive, a little bit stressful getting into town. I've heard that SEC games can be pretty intense. I found a parking spot, a free public parking spot. I literally cannot believe I found a spot. This lot is packed. I don't know why that spot wasn't taken, but not gonna question it. I am beyond excited. I'm here. I'm not gonna do a lot of talking because it's gonna be super loud. It's a football game. But so far I've been in Cleveland, in Pittsburgh, in Georgia, and in Tennessee, all when their football teams had away games. And it was super frustrating. So the fact that I can actually come to a football game, even though it is a college game, it doesn't matter. I'm here and I'm gonna enjoy it. Also, my tickets were only $15. Sure, I'm in the nosebleed of nosebleed sections, but it doesn't matter. Just buy the cheap ticket. Had such a fun time these 2 weeks in Arkansas. I knew nothing about this place. Coming here, I love it. It's beautiful. The people are awesome. Food scene can use a little bit of work, but that's okay. The journey continues. I am in my hotel room down the street from the University of Arkansas in Fayetteville. Going to catch a bus at 3:30 in the morning. Oh my gosh, what a fun time I've had. See you on the next one.